Washington, they would go max. It's called max time.
Mr. President, you've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon. But how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having it.
I got us one on. You were at this beautiful scene for the meeting, and you said a lot about acquiring Canada as a state. Did anybody talk to you about that? And where
I think it's a much better deal from Canada, but it's up to them. They're going to have to pay a lot of tariffs and things. They're going to have to pay a lot of money for the dome, for the Iron Dome. They want to be a part of it. We may make a separate deal on that, by the way. We discussed that, yeah, on the dome. That may be a separate deal. They want to be at $71 billion. They're going to pay.
There could be a dome thing separate from the tariff.
They'll be in the dome. Yeah, they'll be under the dome.
And were you open to negotiating with the Iranians right now, or do you want to wait?
I don't know. I've been negotiating. I told them to do the deal. They should have done the deal. The cities have been blown to pieces and we've lost a lot of people. They should have done the deal. I told them do the deal. So I don't know. I'm not too much in a mood to negotiate now.
Do you think you'll be in the Situation Room tomorrow at any point?
Yeah. Tomorrow morning early. While you're sleeping. Goodbye, everyone.
Why did you tell people to evacuate Tehran? You know, you posted evacuate.
Yeah, I think it's safer. There's a lot of bad things happening there. No, I think it's safer for them to evacuate.
On Minnesota, there were a lot of horrific details that came out today about the suspect who's been charged there. Have you called the governor yet or been able to speak to any of them?
I don't really call him. He appointed this guy to a position. I think the governor of Minnesota is so whacked out. I'm not calling him. Why would I call him? I could call him and say, hi, how you doing? The guy doesn't have a clue. He's a mess. So, I could be nice and call him, but why waste time?
The big beautiful bill, sir. Can you talk about what the
We're
Senate?
doing well with the big.
How's it looking in the Senate? They
Great,
proposed some
big,
changes.
beautiful bill. Right?
Are you okay with the changes?
I hear so far it's going well.
Are you going to extend?
Look, if it doesn't get approved, 68% tax increase, and I think the Democrats would have to, they'd be, because we won't get Democrats. Think of it, we're giving the biggest tax cut in history. Instead, you have the biggest tax increase in history, 68%.
Are you going to extend the TikTok deadline again?
Probably, yeah. Probably have to get China approval. I think we're
Do
getting
you
it.
have the legal basis?
I think
to do
President Xi will ultimately approve it.
And you have the legal basis to do that?
Yeah. We do.
Two more on Iran. Is there any sign that North Korea is getting more involved in helping Iran, or is Russia getting more involved in
I haven't seen it. No. I don't think anybody wants to get involved. It's a mess.
What about Americans?
All right, welcome back. We have some breaking news coming in. Israeli strikes against Iran are continuing. 224 civilians have lost their lives and 1,257 others have been injured, is what we are learning in Iran so far. Aditya, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast to give us more details about this. Aditya, the entire world is concerned about what's happening in Iran. The death toll continues to mount. In fact, images are going viral, videos are going viral on social media of a live television broadcast also interrupted by a bomb blast.
Well, absolutely, Vineet. Indeed, a large spate of attacks have happened against Iran. Several, as you rightly pointed out, the biggest state broadcaster of Iranian TV has been, attacks where an anchor was doing the primetime show, and suddenly there was an explosion, a loud explosion behind her. So, at this juncture, the situation is very concerning at the moment. There could be a wider escalation in the entire Middle East, that due to this Iran-Israel war, there could prices of fuel, prices of oil could go. They've already increased by 7% per barrel. So increasingly, this situation is getting out of control, and indeed, there could be severe repercussions for the Middle East if not stopped the war between Israel and Iran. Yes, Vinny.
All right, Aditya, stay with us. The Israeli Defense Forces have released a video depicting the interception of missiles. The video showcases Israeli Air Force intercepting approximately 30 drones that were launched from Iran. Aditya, this is what the Iron Dome is famous for, intercepting any attack on it.
Well, absolutely. We have seen, how previously also the Iron Dome has intercepted a lot of missiles, incoming missiles, and this time also they are continuously, thwarting all the missile attacks, all the incoming missiles that are coming in from Iran, and they have been launching retaliatory strikes against Israel, against Iran, because they're repeatedly attacking Israeli cities like Haifa, Jerusalem, and Tel Aviv with hypersonic missiles. Yes, we need.
All right, well, the IDF has released another video stating that it has completed several extensive strikes on military targets in western Iran. The strikes have targeted surface-to-surface missile storage sites, surface-to-air missile launchers, and UAV storage sites as well. Aditya, what more can you tell us about that?
Well, absolutely. There have been a massive stride of attacks against both the sides. There have been incidents where Iran has been sending its drones towards Israel, and they have been intercepting. Some are being intercepted by the Iron Dome missile, and some have been evading the Israelis' defense infrastructure. So clearly at this juncture, a major escalation is a certain thing to happen. And at this juncture, it needs to be seen whether any mediation does stop this war, or it will continue this way, which will be catastrophic for the Middle East and as well as for the rest of the world as well. Very.
All right. Well, a massive smoke cloud was seen billowing from a site in central Israel's Herzliya city following an Iranian missile attack. Damaged buses and craters can be seen from a parking lot near what appeared to be a long flowing cloud of black smoke. Israeli police has stated that there has been damage to property in central Israel, but did not specify what had been hit. This has been confirmed by the local media. Aditya, what do we know about that? Israel, of course, and several cities in Israel also bearing the brunt of this escalation.
Well, absolutely. There have been a constant military strikes by Iran, and the Iranian leadership has made it clear that it won't stop these attacks now on Israel. They will continue to rain drones and missiles on Israel, and certainly in the Herzliya region of Israel, these Iranian missiles have created havoc. So at this juncture, the situation is concerning, and it needs to be seen from where this war is headed. Yes, Vinny.
All right, Aditya, thank you for that. Well, in new visuals that have emerged, panicked students of the BJ Medical College in Ahmedabad can be seen escaping down balconies of the hostel premises moments after Air India flight AI-171 crashed into the building. Of the 275 victims of the fatal crash, 241 were passengers aboard the flight, while others were hostel students and locals located near the crash site.